What really happens to a man's prostate if he ejaculates every single day? It's a question many think about, but almost no one says it out loud. For men over 50, the prostate often feels like a silent mystery, working quietly in the background until one day it demands attention. And when it does, the results can be uncomfortable, even frightening. Yet because of embarrassment, countless men avoid the topic, even with their doctors. But hiding from it won't protect you. I'm Grace Miller, and after years of working with men over 50, I can tell you that embarrassment is one of the biggest obstacles to good health. And trust me, what you'll discover may surprise you. Take John, for example. He's a 65-year-old retired firefighter who spent his career running into burning buildings, but froze up when discussing his health. For months, he ignored the constant trips to the bathroom at night, chalking it up to just getting older. But during a routine check, his doctor gave him a wake-up call. His prostate was enlarged. Things could have turned out far worse if he hadn't caught it early. Stories like John's remind us that avoiding the subject doesn't make the problem disappear. So, in this video, we'll uncover the science behind daily ejaculation, the 3 key changes your prostate goes through after 40, and a clear plan to protect your health for decades to come. Are you ready to find out? Before we dive deeper, let's get clear on what the prostate actually is. Picture it as a hidden engine valve inside the male body, quietly running in the background. About the size of a walnut, this small gland sits just below the bladder and wraps around the urethra, the very tube that carries urine out. Its main task? Producing the nourishing fluid that helps sperm travel safely. Without it, reproduction as we know it wouldn't be possible. In a man's younger years, the prostate works silently and efficiently. You hardly notice it's there. But here's the catch. After age 40, this gland doesn't always stay the same size. Slowly, almost stubbornly, it begins to grow. Doctors call this benign prostatic hyperplasia, or BPH. It isn't cancer, but it brings with it the kinds of symptoms many men whisper about, yet never openly admit. Imagine trying to water your garden with a hose that's being squeezed. The flow weakens, sputters, and no matter how much pressure you put in, the stream won't come out right. That's precisely what happens when the enlarged prostate presses against the urethra. Suddenly, urinating becomes a task instead of a relief. John, our retired firefighter, described it as feeling like the job never gets finished. That lingering sense of a bladder that's never empty is frustrating, even exhausting. And here's the truth. He's far from alone. Have you ever noticed these subtle changes creeping into your own daily life? So let's get straight to the burning question. Is frequent ejaculation, whether through masturbation or with a partner, good or bad for the prostate? Surprisingly, science leans in a very positive direction. A massive European urology study published in the journal tracked thousands of men for nearly 2 decades. The results were striking. Those who ejaculated around 21 or more times per month had a significantly lower risk of developing prostate cancer compared to those who did it only a handful of times. That's not a slight difference. It was enough to catch the attention of researchers worldwide. Why might this be? Experts call it the prostate flushing effect. Each time you ejaculate, the gland clears out built-up fluids, old cells, and even potential irritants. Think of it like regularly rinsing the filter in your coffee machine. If you never clean it, residue builds up, clogging the system. But if you flush it often, it stays fresher and functions better. Now, here's the key. Ejaculation isn't a magic cure. It's one piece of the puzzle. A healthy prostate still depends on diet, exercise, and regular checkups. But this natural act may play a bigger role than most men realize. Once a man passes 40, the prostate begins to go through a series of predictable changes, some merely annoying, others potentially serious. The first significant shift is enlargement and fluid retention. Doctors call this benign prostatic hyperplasia, or BPH. Think of your urethra, the thin tube that carries urine, like a straw pressed inside a tightening fist. The more the prostate grows, the more it squeezes that straw, slowing down the stream. Suddenly, urination that was once quick and effortless becomes weak, hesitant, and sometimes interrupted. Even after finishing, many men describe the frustrating feeling that the bladder is still half full. This isn't just inconvenient, it can also lead to chronic, low-grade inflammation inside the gland, which wears down your health over time. The second change is hormonal. Testosterone, the very hormone that fuels male strength, gradually declines. But that's not the whole story. A portion of the remaining testosterone is converted into dihydrotestosterone, or DHT. This hormone is far more potent and has a direct effect on stimulating prostate growth. It's like the body feeds the gland fertilizer, making it bulkier when you least want it to. The third shift is cellular. As we age, billions of new cells are created daily to replace old ones. With each replication, the chance of an error increases. Over the decades, these small mistakes can add up, sometimes leading to abnormal cell growth. When combined with inflammation and hormonal changes, the risk of developing severe conditions like prostate cancer naturally rises. These three forces, growth, hormones, and cell changes, are the reality of aging. But understanding them gives you the power to act early, instead of waiting until problems control your life. Which of these three shifts do you personally find most concerning? Beyond the well-known changes of aging, there's a new and controversial idea that some scientists are starting to explore. Researchers in Japan have proposed what they call a hidden prostate clog. According to their theory, tiny hardened clusters of old cells and toxins can form inside the gland over time. These clusters may slow circulation, pressure the bladder and urethra, and worsen urinary symptoms. It sounds unusual, almost like discovering a hidden traffic jam inside the body. The intriguing part is that their early findings suggest certain natural compounds, especially those found in mineral-rich spring waters and plant-based juices, might help dissolve these buildups. Men in the studies reported stronger urine flow and less pressure within just days. Now, to be clear, this research is still young. The broader medical community hasn't fully embraced it. But history reminds us that once radical ideas, like cholesterol clogging arteries, eventually became mainstream after more evidence piled up. Could the same be true for this hidden clog theory? Only time will tell. Knowing what can go wrong with the prostate is only half the battle. The real question is, what can you do about it? I want to emphasize 4 pillars of prostate health, each a daily choice that can change the trajectory of your future. The first pillar is annual medical checkups, starting around age 40 or earlier if prostate issues run in your family. Seeing a urologist should become a yearly routine. This includes a PSA blood test and the digital rectal exam. Many men dread the latter, but let's put it in perspective. 15 seconds of mild discomfort could save your life. I once heard about a 62-year-old man named Carl, a retired carpenter, who reluctantly went in for his exam. The doctor found a lump early, and Carl is now healthy and active with treatment. He admits, "That awkward exam was the best decision I ever made." The second pillar is an anti-inflammatory diet. What you eat shapes the health of your gland. Processed foods, fried meats, and excess sugar fuel inflammation. On the other hand, vegetables, berries, olive oil, and fatty fish help cool the fire. And here's the secret weapon: tomatoes. Rich in lycopene, cooked tomatoes act like a shield for the prostate. Think of grandma's slow-simmered pasta sauce or a hearty bowl of tomato soup. Not just comfort food, but powerful medicine in disguise. The third pillar is consistent physical activity. You don't have to run marathons, but you need to move. Brisk walking, cycling, or lightweight training helps regulate hormones and maintain circulation. A special mention goes to Kegel exercises, which strengthen the pelvic floor muscles. One man I spoke with, a 60-year-old teacher, said daily Kegels gave him back bladder control he thought was gone forever. Simple, discreet, and effective. The fourth pillar is hydration. It sounds almost too simple, yet so many men overlook it. Drinking 2 to 3 liters of water daily keeps urine diluted, flushes toxins, and prevents irritation. A good rule of thumb: if your urine is consistently dark, you're not drinking enough. Clear water equals a clearer system. These 4 habits, screening, diet, exercise, and hydration, form a protective wall around your prostate. None of them is complicated, but they require consistency. Which pillars are you already practicing, and which one do you need to start building today? Caring for your prostate isn't just about avoiding discomfort. It's about protecting your freedom, your energy, and your quality of life as a man. Too often, guys wait until problems become impossible to ignore before acting. But by then, the road back can be much more challenging. Small, consistent choices today, eating smarter, moving more, drinking enough water, or simply scheduling that yearly exam, can add to decades of better health tomorrow. Silence doesn't protect you. Information and action do. So, don't let embarrassment or pride hold you back from doing what's necessary. Every man deserves to age confidently, not constantly worry over midnight bathroom trips or silent risks hiding inside. Now, I'd like to hear from you. What's one habit you're ready to commit to this week for your prostate health? Share it in the comments. We learn more when we support each other. And if this video gave you value, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more straight-to-the-point health advice designed for men like you.